You are listening to the Speech Space Podcast, a podcast full of tips and resources for SLPs. I'm your host, Jessica Cassidy, and this is episode 24. Hey everyone, I hope that you all had a wonderful holiday and that the new year is off to a great start for you. It was really nice to take some downtime and spend some time with my family over the holidays, but I definitely did miss podcasting, and I'm glad to be back and talking speech with you guys. So today we're going to be talking about tiered vocabulary. I know that this is a term that most of you guys, especially school SLPs, are familiar with, but we're going to dive in and talk a little bit about the different tiers and how you can pick out tier 2 vocabulary for your students. Before we get started, I did want to let you guys know that I created a free handout to supplement this episode. It contains the basic information about the different vocabulary tiers, and it also contains a checklist for determining whether a word is a tier 2 word or not. And I will give you the link to that at the end of the show, so stay tuned. But for now, let's hop right in and start talking about the vocabulary tiers. Okay, so what is tiered vocabulary? Tiered vocabulary is an organizational framework for categorizing words and suggests implications for instruction. And the 3-tier framework was developed by Isabel Beck and Margaret McKeon. Now let's talk a little bit more specifically about what the different tiers are. So first we have tier 1 words, and those are the familiar everyday words that our students are already going to know. They rarely require explicit instruction. And some examples of these kinds of words would be words like girl, cat, table, or happy. There's approximately 8,000 words out there that are considered to be tier 1. Now, tier 2 words are high-frequency words that are used in a variety of contexts. Now, these are the most important words for direct instruction, and it's estimated that there's approximately 7,000 words out there that are going to be in tier 2. Examples of tier 2 words would be words like obvious, complex, masterpiece, and nutrition. Now, tier 3 words are low-frequency, specialized words that appear in specific content areas. We usually learn these words as we're learning about something that's very focused, like maybe science or social studies, for example. Some examples of tier 3 words would be things like economics, isotope, and isosceles. It's estimated that there are about 400,000 tier 3 words. So how do we figure out whether a word is a tier 1, 2, or 3 word? I should mention here that there can be some gray areas, and not everyone's going to agree 100% of the time on which tier a word falls into. However, there's some basic questions that we can ask ourselves to figure out whether a word is most likely to be in tier 1, 2, or 3. So for SLPs, because tier 2 words are going to be our primary area of focus, that's what we're going to talk about today. So to determine if a word falls into the tier 2 category, we can ask ourselves some questions. So one question we could ask is this a word that students are not likely to know? Another question could be, is this a word that would be used by a mature language user? Or is this a frequently used word? Is this a word that is generally useful? Is it a word that is necessary for comprehension? Can the meaning of the word be explained using everyday language? And is it a cross-curricular term? Meaning, can it be used in different subjects? For example, could this word be used in a lesson about science, social studies, and math? Now, if we're able to answer yes to those questions, then there's a high probability that we're going to be dealing with a tier 2 vocabulary word. Now, like I said, I did create a supplemental handout with a lot of the information covered in today's episode. So if you would like to download that, then please go to bit.ly/tier 2 vocabulary. So that's bit.ly/tier 2 vocabulary, and you can download that for free. Now, 2 more things I'd like to touch on very briefly here. One is that the Digital SLP membership just rolled out a new feature that I'm really excited about. It is a video series called EBP Quick Bits. Now, they are short, usually less than 5-minute videos that summarize evidence that's relevant to our field. And as I've mentioned before, as new features are added to the site, the membership price is going to go up. I'm planning to raise the price probably mid to the end of the month. So if this sounds like something that you'd like to learn more about or be a part of, head on over to thespeechspace.com/digital SLP. And lastly, if you found this episode to be helpful, please consider leaving a 5-star review because it will make it easier for other SLPs to find the podcast. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will catch you next week.